I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
Despite what you think, I do not know everything. And I just had another, this will happen to you. Don't worry, it'll happen to you. Be like, wow, why? I had the ingredients in the kitchen. Why did I make this great dish beforehand? It never dawned on you. You know, we don't see everything all the time. So I need to talk to you about this chapstick. But first, I need to tell you about this window screen patches. But before I talk about this, I have to talk to you about sleep. But in order to talk about the sleep, I have to talk about the scorpions. So don't worry. Sit the fuck down. We're going somewhere with this. Long ago, there was the great Scorpion Wars between Cappy and the Scorpions. My friend bought this place in the Southern Command. We're both Northerners. We know nothing about desert life except that it's warmer and there's no snow. That's why we came down here. He says, do you want to watch over the house? I'll let you stay here for a while. I go down to Mexico because apparently it's not warm enough in Vegas for him. Fine. Don't twist my arm. So I've had a great setup for coming up on 10 years where all I got to do is be the property manager of the Southern Command during winter while he goes down to Mexico. The first year, though, however, people probably for friends who live down here, hey, did you check for scorpions? No, I didn't check for scorpions. Every home, every piece of property in Nevada has scorpions. And I said, well, I'll go look for them. You got to go get a black light and look them up. So I go looking for scorpions with a black light, and they're out there, right? Just like spiders, there's scorpions. And I had also found one. I'd accidentally stepped on it with my boots. And all of a sudden, there's like a little scorpion, dead scorpion in the kitchen. And then I think my friend was playing a joke on me. He put a scorpion in the toilet. He found one and put it in the toilet. Then you read these horror stories about scorpions. They can live in water for 8,000 years and come up and sting your ball sack while you're taking a shit. You know, and I'm like, well, here I got a carcass of one. What kind is it? And I'm like, it's probably like all the other bitey, stingy, unless it's one of these obscure black widows, you'll probably be fine. It's like a bee sting. I look at it, Arizona bark scorpion, most poisonous scorpion in all of North America. I'm like, fuck. What are the symptoms? Frothing at the mouth, seizure, convulsions, heart attack, heart arrest. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. I'm not having a scorpion jump up from the water, which they don't do, but jump up from the water and sting my ball sack. No, I won't lie. That was like it's very unlikely, but there was now an increased chance of that. And I went to war with the scorpions. I caulked everything on the house. Scorpions they can flatten. These are small scorpions, not the big ones. They could get in everywhere. I sprayed, I pulled weeds, I set up perimeter defense and push it out. There's a lot, I'm not joking, there's a lot of strategy that goes into getting and pushing out the scorpions. So I done all that. You never get rid of them fully, but I really knocked them down from where you'd see 8 to 10 a night in the yard. And now I go out and maybe you see one a night. Haven't seen one in the house in 9 years. Good old Cap. Scorpion killer Cappy, of the many things you can add to my resume. So it's night. It's starting to get a little warm in Vegas. And instead of throwing on the air conditioning, I will open the windows, right? The air can does save money, right? Let's save money. There's no reason to spend money. So open up the windows like we did in the 80s. I'm like, you kids, hit the digital app on my phony phone to run. Oh, why is my electric bill so high? We need to print off more money so things are cheaper. Darn, I'm a college graduate. So I open up the window and I look at the screen, and the screen, it's kind of tattered. And there's a big enough couple spots big enough where a scorpion could get in. Scorpions like the house because the house is warm at night and they like to crawl up. Scorpions like to get into things. I'm like, a scorpion could come right up there, come in, go into the bed while I'm sleeping, sting my ball sack. That's what I'm worried about. I want to live life without a scorpion stinging my ball sack. That's kind of, I don't know what your goals in life are, but that's mine. And if there's the outside chance of that, I'm like, oh, no, I can't. Well, sleep is very important to me. So now I have a tattered screen door window. It's big enough for a scorpion to get in. I've seen scorpions on that wall before. It is possible for a scorpion to get in. You don't want a mother scorpion getting in because now you got little ones, little baby scorpions also stinging my ball sack. I better go and order some window patch repair screen things. So I buy this. And what ended up happening, put these on, not only, okay, you're safe now from the scorpions. We were able to open up the door. And I had this conversation with Great One. I thought I liked it at 64 degrees to sleep, right? The Borg have a perfect temperature to sleep at. Only really nerdy Star Trek guys are going to get that. But I thought my ideal temperature was 64. Well, over in Rapid City, I left the window open, didn't close it, fell asleep, and I had like 9.5 hours of deep sleep, and I woke up. What's going on, man? Oh my God, I feel great. So I look at the temperature in the room. It's 55. And I asked the Great One, I say, hey, did you get some good night's sleep? He's like, dude, I left that window open. Yeah, I like it 52. And as always, tweaking and improving upon things, I said, I got to get it lower temperature. And that happened. I opened up the window. The wind came in. It still gets cold at night in Vegas. Oh, I got some good sleep. And it's in my book, Zero World Problems. But you don't think about good sleep as a very key determining factor in your quality of life and your standards of living. But it is. It really is. I know that's old man stuff, and but just trust me. We all agree, no matter what your age, a good night's sleep is better than a bad night's sleep, right? Like you when I was younger, I didn't place a priority on it. I strongly recommend you do now. But then it dawned on me, this was not an affordable thing back in the day. When I was poor, you had to do without this stuff. You say, really? A $5 or $6 window patch kit? Yeah, $5 or $6. And a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about, either because you were brought up poor, your parents had no money, and you didn't get scholarships or whatever, you're in college. Dude, you can't afford a $5 patch kit screen. There's all these, I wouldn't even call them conveniences, but I mean, almost requirements. They're above conveniences. They're really important conveniences. Because if you think about it, this $5, and I didn't even use them all, by the way. I got a lot more in here. Quite a good deal, actually, in case you're looking for window patch kits. This allowed me to get, oh, here we go. All right, that's it. Hang on. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be one. See, like, and getting the convenience of having reliable internet. Point is, back in the day, I couldn't afford this adjusted for inflation. I couldn't afford this. And because I couldn't afford this, this would deprive me of better sleep than what I could have had. A small expense in the grand scheme of things, but if you're poor enough, you can't afford it, actually has more of an effect on your standard of living negatively than you might think. And then I was reminded about this. Chapstick got upside down. A friend of mine had the same thing. For those of you who live up north where it's cold, or I guess where it's dry, I remember my freshman, sophomore, and junior year in college. Winter would come by. I just have like cracked lips. I'm no joke. Like, chapped lips, and they were cracked, and I would bleed occasionally. Gee, why can't I find the girls? I don't know. Could it be the blood coming out of your fucking lips? Because I couldn't afford this. And this back in the day was like an 89-cent can of Carmex. Do you remember the Carmex or chapstick, whatever? I couldn't even afford this. Or could I? And that's where I was like, oh my God, it cost us so much more than we thought. Because at the end of my college graduate, like I paid my way through college, right? Full-time school, full-time work. Deathly afraid of debt. And I was able to pay cash and get my student loans. I parked them in a CD that made 6%. And the truth is, when I was younger, I could have afforded chapstick. I could have afforded more food. And had I been in Vegas and needed window patches, I probably could have afforded window patches. You know what I afforded instead? I afforded purchasing effectively a lottery ticket that I might meet a girl at a nightclub or at a bar. Didn't buy girls a lot of drinks, but I did go to nightclubs. I did take girls out on dates. I bought a lot. Well, yeah, actually, senior year, yeah, I did buy a lot of girls a lot of movies. And if you can imagine it, I'd even swing dinner. These were not fancy places back in the day. But we went on old school dates back in the day. Did it did it get me sex? Oh my God, is all you think about sex? No, but that's the main reason we're going out with you girls. I'm just being honest and direct. Did it get me what I wanted? No. Every once in a while, yeah. But was it worth it in terms of what it cost me? Nowhere near enough. And usually we talk about what could we have done, opportunity costs. Oh my God, was it worth it? Just from you, Phil. Did you think you went on a roller coaster ride? You don't have like a math formula to scientifically gauge whether you like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. You go to a movie. I did like it. Yeah, it was worth it. No, that wasn't worth it, right? We have that. Well, was your dating experiences worth it? And every man older than 35 say, no, it wasn't worth it, generally speaking. But the cost I hadn't thought of before is that what you're essentially doing, especially when you're younger and poorer, or poor just in general, is if you're sacrificing on shit like this and sleep and chapped lips and fucking food to maybe go get the girl at the nightclub or go to a house party here or whatever. Do you guys remember when maybe you might have bought a girl flowers? That dumb shit. There was all the flowers, a bouquet of flowers. That's all the chapstick I would have ever needed back in the poor days. I realize what you're doing, guys. You're depriving your engine of oil. Conveniences, I got to come up with a name. Like you could get by without it, but life is really going to suck, right? No matter how finely engineered and cut an engine is, it still needs oil, still needs a lubricant. And if you are not going to put oil in your engine of life, you're not going to afford those conveniences. You're not going to afford those efficiencies. Your life is going to fucking run rough, man. It's going to run rough. Sleep, a perfect example. Oh, man, I'd always get sick, right? Because I wasn't getting enough sleep. Always working so much, although that was a lot of me working extra time. But then you get sick because you weren't getting enough rest. It's your engine running rough. You didn't buy the patches. You bought a girl a drink. You paid for a cover charge. You wasted your time. God almighty. I talked about this before, but to this day, I still want my time back. I remember driving all the way up to Coon Rapids to pick up a date. And if you don't know, Coon Rapids is 35 miles north of the Twin Cities. It was an hour round trip. I picked this girl up, drove her downtown Minneapolis, going to take her to a nightclub and have some fun. We get to, I even had a convertible back then, which I paid for cash. This is like when I'm 24, 25. And here I'm like, oh, look at the big downtown buildings. I was like that, like, oh, look at that, it's so cool. I remember we didn't even make it to Hennepin Avenue. Can you take me home? I'm like, what? What? All the gas, forget the opportunity cost. The gas alone could have bought myself better sleep. And that's the thing I want to point out to you boys. You need to put you need to put oil in your engine of life. You need to have a well-oiled life. If you're having to choose between food and sleep and lip balm, or whatever else, I'm sure y'all got your stories, right? Fancy clothes, right? Well, fancy clothes. Why do you get fancy clothes? So you could go get the girls. Dude, your clothes alone could have fed you. If you're choosing between that shit and chasing girls, no, you're not. You're not adequately oiling your engine. Your life is going to be horrible. It's going to be miserable. And to be perfectly honest, when you got a bad engine that isn't oiled, girls aren't going to be interested in you because you don't have your life. You got chapped fucking lips. Kiss me, baby. Blah. Fucking Grand Canyon crack right down my lip. Keeps on forming in the same spot when it's wintertime. Oh, better apply that. Now I dropped the what is probably now $1.29 on lip balm. But again, I know you guys don't have dads, and what dads you do have are a bunch of modern day American pussies. Well, it's being itself. So, hey, Dad, should I get? I can't afford lip balm because I need to save up money for a cover charge. I know a cover charge. We're going way back in time, but whatever. Oh my God, OnlyFans? Are you guys dropping money on OnlyFans? Will you please go buy yourself like lip balm? Will you go to college instead, like for a real degree? Go to trade school. Go buy some tools. I'll tell you right now, that's a perfect example of keeping a well-oiled engine. Don't be spending your money on OnlyFans. Go buy some tools that you can fix your car with. Spend the time learning to fix a car. Don't go to house parties. I mean, I don't want to go too far the other end. Like if you got time, you got whatever, bring a bottle of booze, come on over, have a good time. You want to hang out with your friends. Do people have friends nowadays? Wait, Cappy, a house party for millennials and Zoomers? One, that assumes they own a house, and two, they got friends. What? Come on. Oh, hey. I kid. No, it's true. You don't have a house. I don't think you got any friends. That'd be a house. Okay. If you got time, go be social. A house party probably be better than certainly a nightclub. But if it comes at the cost, like, yeah, well, okay, I don't have electric. Oh God. If I go there instead of working a night shift, I won't be able to afford the electric bill. Or like me, where I would shut the water mains off in the basement that I lived in to save on heat downstairs electric. No. Living in cold base, sleeping below freezing sucks, in case you were wondering. It really sucks. You don't get, I know 55, 56 might be the temperature, but it isn't 23. Freaking pipes frozen in my basement. Thank God they didn't burst. But yeah, spend the money on the conveniences. Spend the money on food. Spend the money on heat, right? Let's say you live in the north and it's a really, really cold day. I appreciate saving money, putting on a sweatshirt and all that. But if it comes to, hey, for an extra $3 tonight, I could turn up the heat and not freeze my ass off. Versus, well, if I save up $3 for the next 5 days, then I can afford a sandwich for Becky. No, fuck you. The heat's worth it. Do not. Besides, you girls can pay for your own shit, right? Strong, independent, right? I think the coffee date is the greatest invention in all of human history. Let's get a coffee. See how you're doing. Oh, no, I know that HR shit, like, we're going to bow down and worship to you because you got the goods. No. I'm interviewing you now. We're going to turn the tables. Let's interview each other. Here's my $4 investment in this high-end cup of coffee. You could pay for your $4 cup of coffee. Shh. The men are talking now. Okay. The adults are in charge. Please be quiet. Shh. Yeah, coffee, sure. Yeah. Let's go to house party. Yeah, I'll bring a bottle of Jack Daniels. Yeah, we're too young to know the difference of the quality. Hey, what's going on? I gotta go home and go to bed. That's in the book, Zero World Problems. I tell you, boys, I say, yeah, go to the bar. Okay, yeah, go to the house party. You have a hard out at 11. Hard out. You're out at 11. You ain't got a girl's number. You go home. No reason to stay there from 11 to 2 a.m. You say, hey, you're cute. I want to go out with you sometime. What's your number? And you do that to every girl in there, and then you leave. And the girl's like, oh my God, did he just ask 3 women for numbers? Yeah, he did. Oh my God. And then maybe one gave it to her. They're like, and then they're on social media. I can't believe the balls on that guy. But he did have balls. He was the only guy to ask me out. Hey, Bobby, what was your buddy's friend's name who came over and brought the Jack Daniels? And you go home and you go to bed, man. You get your sleep. Live for you. Because the truth is, you weren't going to get a number and get laid 99% of the time there. But don't be like us where we sacrifice. Really, I guarantee you in the comment section, there's probably a bunch of guys, not even my age, it's probably 30-year-old. Like, oh, yeah, man, I sacrificed all these conveniences in life. Life would have been a lot better, a lot easier with food. Don't do it. Buy oil for your engine. Don't buy girls' drinks, although that's not happening. So link below. What do I got linked below? I got Zero World Problems linked below. And then that goes through all the more important things that you should put in terms of economic life goals. There's a list. There's a list in the back. Beautiful list. You tear out the pages, put it up on your fridge. Like, when I get through all this shit, then I will chase the girlsa. Then I could buy the girlsa a drinksa. But until you get through that checklist, you just sit there and focus on yourself. So Zero World Problems, that's available paperback, Kindle, and audio. And then Bachelor Pad Economics, get your financial shit together. The Financial Advice Bible for Men, Bachelor Pad Economics, available on Amazon. It goes over all the major and minor life decisions you're going to make in terms of finances from the age of 14 till when? Death. It's very thorough. It is. It's very thorough. All right, let's go to super chats. Femboy Fantasia, $2. Fuck scorpions. I'll deal with the cold. No, they're not. I understand, Femboy. I understand. I too was like that. I'd rather deal with the scorpions. Plus, if you get stung by one, you build up a tolerance, I hear. And as long as you're not allergic to them, you'll live. I would, if I had to choose Minnesota cold or scorpions, I'll choose the scorpions. The cold, I guarantee you, the cold shortened my life expectancy and caused way more pain over the years out there than a scorpion bite would, unless I happen to be like super allergic and then I'm dead. But yeah, let me see. Deal with Minnesotans or scorpions. I'll deal with scorpions all fucking day. At least the scorpions is not personal. Minnesotans is like, I hate him. Why? Because he's not one of us and he didn't kiss the Democrat ring. I'll treat him real nice and stab him in his fucking back. That's Minnesota. Scorpions just doing scorpion things, chilling out. And then all of a sudden you happen to step on them or disturb them. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Oh my God, attack it. And then jump up and hit your balls. You're like, ah. Fuck Seeds, $5. Thank you, Fuck Seeds. Femboy again, $2. Quality of life. Raymond. Yeah, you don't have scorpions and black widows out in Ohio. We got scorpions and black widows and brown recluses in Vegas. We only have black widows in South Dakota. And that shocked me. I was like, why they shouldn't be here? It's too cold. The black widows are, fuck you, we're here. I found 2 in my garage. So I am very thorough in cleaning and spraying the garage. Raymond, thoughts and minds, please tune into it. Oh, Raymond, by the way, thank you very much. I did a quick, well, maybe not quick. I did a medium-sized road trip. I went down to Prescott, did some hiking, went out to Albuquerque, visited a friend, and I drove back. And I was binging on your podcast. It's good conversation. Nice long podcast. Because you get well, you were even saying it, Ray, where all your YouTube feed was Snow White and Rachel Zegler and the movie bombing. Like, I don't need 40 different channels to tell me it bombed. Like, that market's been flooded. And so after listening to 2 or 3 of those, I'm like, okay, it's the same thing. So, but yours is more long form. Basic car maintenance, hilarious, easy, and cheap. Takes an hour tops to do oil filters, check everything. A+ topic. Yeah. I mean, it's auto repair is the punching bag you have hanging up in your basement. It's always there. So if you got some downtime, you don't know what to do, you can always go and throw some punches on the punching bag. Auto repair is the same thing. There's always something to do on the car. Just checking it, right? Oh, maybe I need to, let's check the air filter. Hey, it's probably due for spark plugs and wires. If you got carbureted and time to take carburetor engine with my motorcycle, time to take it out for a ride. Yeah, there's always something you can do and look up, practice. And I'll tell you, an hour spent working and wrenching on vehicle. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, ladies. I have to go back. I mean, yeah, some girls, it was like, no, it was worth spending the time on the girl. But I'm going to say really 95, 97% of the time, it is that high. I wish I had spent more time learning to fix vehicles or carpentry than I did going out on dates. It just wasn't worth it. That's because all you want is sex. Well, what are you on the date for? I mean, really, like that was, the paradox there, or the contradiction. You only want one thing. Well, why are you on the date? Why is, if a boy and a girl go out, man and woman, and they're doing it for romantic purposes, well, isn't that for sex then down the road? I'm not saying the whole thing, but isn't that the defining difference between a guy and a gal going out who are just friends, right? That's the difference. Is one is platonic and the other has to be sexual. But then why is that? Why are you on a romantic date? It's, I understand women wanting money. I understand them wanting stability. But what the fuck is, define to me the commodity of commitment? Well, I need you to commit to me. What is that? You just don't sleep with anyone else. Okay, you got to, then, so it is about sex. But no, but you can't sleep with anyone else. I will drip out like a dry coffee cup or coffee maker, little ounces of sex. Wait, fuck you. What is that? What's the value of commitment? I'm here for you all the time. No. But then I would say, okay, well then I got to get sex out of the deal, right? Isn't that the thing we do? You're shallow. Well then, okay, let's just be friends. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? The payment for dates due ends. Why can't we be friends? Gonna buy some oil, gonna get some patches, buying some chapstick, gonna be real friends. Dicastinator, $5. I invested in myself. I have skills, money, real estate, etc. Now I have women that are interested in me. Yeah, that's the biggest lie, is that I'm not saying girls can't like you for you when you're young. It can happen, and it has. You do not have time to be going to nightclubs, bars, house parties. The occasional one, have fun. I'm not saying deprive yourself of it always. You have too much shit to do. Really, if I'm not joking, I mean it's a long list. And you could remove the list that's associated with home ownership if you're a young man who doesn't own a home. But that list in Zero World Problems at the back of the page, really, that I would almost say this is your to-do list before you can go out and start pursuing women more aggressively. Because you got to work on yourself, get yourself financially stable, get yourself some good rest, get yourself in a position where your life doesn't suck. You got to get above all of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You need to get to that I don't want to say nirvana, but that place of stability where you're not worried about money anymore. I mean, you still got a little bit of money problems. Everyone will. Okay, I got the career. I got the stable employment. I got a little side hustle going on. I like where I live. I could go to the gym. I'm healthy. All right, now we can start entertaining girls. And you're in way better position. You're a more attractive man than that time. The worst. Like, really, there should not be an 18 plus night. The only reason there should be an 18 plus night is because you have 18-year-old girls going there for men who are 25 and older, let's just say, that kind of got their shit together to go date them. You 18, 19, 20-year-old boys, you do not, if you are at an 18 plus night and you are under 21 and you're a guy, you are wrong. Get the fuck out of there. You should be doing something else. You should be working. You should be getting out of debt. You should be join the military, some fucking thing. You should not be there. That is that. But Cabby, this one time I made out with a girl. Yeah, okay, fine, good for you. Statistically speaking, you go to the casino and put the money you're going to spend that night at the nightclub. Go to the casino, put it all on red or black, odd or even, I don't care. Have them spin the roulette wheel, and then okay, I lost it or I doubled my money. That's a better rate of return than what you're going to get going out to an 18 plus night. They're more into stability and money long term. Yes, they are. Yes. Chase Roboto, $5. But Cappy, the webcam girl says, acknowledges and appreciates my donations. I love her. She'll marry me once I rescue her from that life. Dude, the number of those webcam gals that have a husband or a boyfriend who's just like, babe, we're just making money. I would love to talk to the men in that world because it's like, man, you're kind of filming your girl doing things. And I appreciate making money, especially if it's a lot of money for easy work. But how do you know, if you're a husband and you're showing, I guess maybe there's a weird sense of pride. Like, look at all these dopes rubbing one out to my wife and giving her money. I guess if you got in and got out, I know that's not the TradCon position. Ray, again, $2. Working on a car house always has an ROI. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a house is another thing, as you're aware of. I got to email you, Ray. I got a book idea for you that you might want to be interested in writing. But yeah, I think we all agree, shoot, if you just watch cartoons and stayed at home, which I guess is what a lot of you young boys are doing. I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm saying, like, yeah, that's a higher rate of return. But I would like to have like an actual positive rate of return. Like, yeah, why don't you replace the floorboards? Why don't you, paint the cabinets? There's always something you can do. Well, and Ray, you're also familiar with this. Is my buddy Craig Kamen. If you guys want to go look at a real estate show, a real estate YouTube channel, Craig Kamen, Kamman. He has a much lower tax rate because the majority of his income is not being paid money to provide a service or through his realty services. The majority of his money is taxed at the capital gains tax rate, whichever that is, which is, what is that? 10%, 12%, 15%? I don't remember, but it's lower than an income tax rate because he goes in, he'll buy a house, he'll fix it up and flip it and sell it. And then he has a capital gains. Capital gains are not taxed at the same rate as income tax. So if you're going in and fixing up a house, you are going to inevitably get paid for that when you sell the house. And assuming you sold it for more than what you got, that will not be taxed at the income tax level, taxed at the capital gains level. So really, no, this is why I'm all for young people starting to learn to build their own houses. Because you could go to school for 4 years and pay $80,000, or you could take that $80,000. And now this presumes you have some land, which I know is out. That's to be determined. But 4 years, you could literally build a living home in the right areas. Couldn't build in California because fuck the permits. But if you want to go to Ohio, you want to go to Alabama, you want to go to Mississippi, or in the rural areas where people can still build their own homes. That's why you got to check in with codes. You could build yourself a small little house. I have a gal I know, she makes little, She builds little cabins, stucco cabins, and they're occupiable. You could build that with your own hands in 4 years. Yeah, you might have to outsource someone to pour the foundation. Yeah, you might have to have someone do the electrical and wiring. But framing, yeah, you don't. And there's ways around it. Like if it's on wheels, it's technically a trailer. So you get a big trailer bed, you put wheels underneath it, jack it up, and then you avoid code that way. You just need a place to sleep and lodging. And doing that, yeah, that's going to save you. You'll have lodging at the end of 4 years. Not some fucking joke of a degree. I got my degree in communications. Candygram for Mongo, $2. Fund your Roth, not someone's alcoholism. Assuming they honor the Roth treatment. But you're right. You're right. Glorfindel, $2. Cappy, when are you reviewing Mad Max Fury Road? I never saw it. When someone pays me to watch it, I'll review it. Yeah, that made me the man I am today. If it wasn't for that chaos or that crisis or whatever, I would have 20% less followers today. Thank you very. There was a case where negative media actually was a good thing because, surprise, there were a lot of people who thought, yeah, Mad Max Fury Road, you said it was going to be feminist. I looked up all the people who wrote articles about it. You can look them up if you want. Look up Mad Max Fury Road, Aaron Clary. Find the authors of the hundreds of articles that were written and look where they are today. Ooh, independent journal, freelance journal, worked at a bunch of places that never paid me and are all bankrupt and owned by private equity. Open for employment. How's that? And they're all like, in their 30s and 40s now. Like, how's that going, guys? How you doing? Hey, look at that. Yeah. Your life sucks. Thanks for the boost, by the way. And Chase Roboto, $5. Cap gains tax are 0, 15, 20%. Okay. Yep. There you go. Which is lower than the income tax. All right. That's it. Link below. Zero World Problems, Bachelor Pad Economics. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.